Hello and welcome back to the Linux Panic YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to be looking at Linux file permissions. But first, before we get into the video, I would like to thank my channel members. These people get early access to videos, as well as a special little badge next to their name that says they support me. So I'd like to thank the following people: Von Garden, Ayush Verma, Cooley, The Storm with a Zero, Wheezy, Reversed On, Mislav, and Pancake Sparkle. I'd like to thank you all very much for being channel members. So, let's get into the video, shall we? Now, what we're looking at here is if we do this here, what we can see, I will just increase this, is RWR, like this here. So, let's first explain what these all mean. The RW and R are various group permissions. They are permissions. Now, if, for example, as I'm sure we all know, the 777 file permission. Now, what the 777 file permission is the read, write, execute for every group involved in for everyone that has access to a particular file. So, what we first need to do is we're going to change this file here, I've called it example for now, to a not 744. What this here is, it's missing that because that's not a directory. This file's not a directory, so this is read, write, but this does not have execute. The group after it has read, and every others have read as well. So this is what would be a 7. This is a 740. Correction. This is a 420, 420, 420. Is what this one is. So let's change that around. Now to do that, we do chmod or change modifier or change mode or whatever you want to call it, but it changes the permissions of the file. So first things first, let's change to 777 chmod 777 example. And if we do ls-la, what this has now done is this has gone read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. Now, if we were to run this as this right now, it would give us access to everything in the file if there was anything. Now, this is why people don't like, especially system administrators for web servers, do not like the 777 modifier. Because if, for example, you're running a web server that has a 777 modifier on the root directory, anybody can get access to that and change everything inside of it without any rhyme or reason, which is a bad thing. However, there is a way around that while still retaining the 777 modifiers, and that is to add a 1 to the front of it. So if we do chmod 1777 to example, what this has now done is it has made that file sticky. Or if we go back one and we want to do chmod 1777 to untitled, what that has now done is, if we cd back into untitled, is it has made this directory sticky. And what sticky means is anybody can read from, write to, and execute in and have access to everything in it, but only the directory owner can remove from it. Now, this allows for you to just put stuff in. It could be a web server. You could be running a web server with a 1777. But with the number 1, which makes it sticky, meaning only the owner of the directory can remove anything from it. So if I were to quickly create another user and say, hey, delete that, it's not going to let me, because even though a secondary user may have sudo permissions, they can't do it because it's a 1777. 1 being sticky, the 777 being the make any changes you want. To get to the 7, the read, write, execute permissions are separated into separate numbers. To read a file, it's 4. To write, it's 2. And to execute is 1. So it adds up to a 7. So, for example, if I wanted to read the file, if I wanted to read, write, execute something, it would be 777 or 744. Because that then it says, hey, look, read, write, execute for the first bit. So if we do chmod 7, 4, read, write, and then read, write again, 744 example. What that's now done is changed it to read, write, execute for the owner, read for the group, and then read for others. So that changes the modifiers for everyone involved with that. See, if I wanted to be the only one that could make read, write, execute that at all, and I could be the only one that reads it, we would change it to a chmod 700. And what that does is it gives us a physical representation of the owner, the first 4 numbers. So numbers 2, 3, and 4 are the owners. 5, 6, and 7 are the group, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is the others. So the owner can read, write, and execute to this file. The group can't do anything, and others can't do anything. Now, this is a way of file control, for example. But we can also do this with letters as well. It's not just numbers, it's also letters. So, for example, if we do chmod and then say, okay, I want to read and write. I want read only for the group, and then for others, read only. And then we need to do example. Invalid mode, so that is, I have put 1 too many. It would help if I typed it out correctly. So let's try that again. So it would be rw -r -r-. Now that would be, we will actually show a proper demonstration because that was a small mistake, but clear, we make mistakes, we learn from them. So chmod, and if we did rwx rwr r -, and then do example, so that's an invalid mode. So if we, this is why I don't like doing this with this one. However, we will once again fix that. So chmod. So for example, if I make mistakes, you can then learn from them. So if we just do rw -example, that is correct. It just doesn't like that. So this is why we use the numbers instead. So again, 077. Now I don't have access to that file, but the group and others do have access to that file. Again, I can't delete that at all now because I don't have read or write permissions on that, and I don't have write permissions for this directory anymore because it's no longer sticky because I've changed with it. So I can create and delete files. Let's just change it down to that for the time being. And then apply permissions to enclosed file. We'll just change it down to that for the time being. So I can't do anything with this. If we wanted to change it upwards, we want them to do change modifiers to 1777, 1777, untitled. Cannot access. And what that's now done is it's changed it back to that. Again, all the groups can access it, they can write to it, they can read from it, they can execute the file, but only the owner can delete it, the owner being me in this case. Now, again, these values have to add up to 7 because you've only got 3. Read is number 4, write is 2, and execute is 1. So if it adds up to 7, then you've got read, write, execute permissions. So again, the way to check that is doing that. That then says read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. I don't know what has a second T there, but it does. But that is correct. Now, if we do chmod 444 example, what that then does is locks that down, and it's a read-only file now. See, that's why it's now got that padlock on it, because it's a read-only. If we were to change it to a 404 for jokes, it would now be a read-only for the owner, no permissions for the group, read-only for others. So there are many ways of changing these files and changing these around, and I hope this makes a little bit more sense as to what the numbers mean, because I learned about this when doing Linux from scratch, and I thought I'll just share this information with you. Anyway, I would like to thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. They both seem to work. You can only see one of them. I'd like to thank my channel members once again. Remember, when you use Linux, don't panic. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and goodbye.